Hello everyone. So, good afternoon, good evening and good afternoon. I want to talk about tonight's fighting. So, we have Dillian White versus Moses Itauma. Moses Itauma. Don't know how to pronounce his name. But I'm excited for this fight. I really am. And I do honestly think that Moses is going to blow him away early in the rounds. And let's say he doesn't. I think the only way Dillian White can win this fight is if he drags him into the late rounds. Listen, Dillian White, he's been on the block, hasn't he? And he's got a lot more experience. He's fought at a higher level than Moses. He's a tricky, awkward fighter, isn't he? Dillian White, he's an awkward fighter, isn't he? His style's quite twitchy and quite long and awkward, but he's brilliant at what he does, and he obviously can pack a punch, and he's a big man. I don't like the fact that he's dropped a lot of weight for this fight. I think he should have kept his size, he should have kept his weight, because he moves well with the weight, considering he's a big dude and he's a big guy. I think he's always moved well, I think he's always carried his weight well, and for him trimming right, I think he's trimmed right down and lost this weight so he can keep up speed-wise, because Moses is really fast, he's young, he's fast, and he's sharp, so I think one of the reasons Dillian White has decided to cut all this weight and come down is just to try and keep up with the speed, the movement and the sharpness with him. But I do think that the weight loss will affect him, as he starts to go into the third and the fourth and the fifth round. I think if he'd have kept the weight on, and managed to tie Moses up, lean on him a bit, I think he could have took a bit out of him. But Moses at all, he's fast, he's powerful. I mean, look, is the hype too early for him? Are we blowing this hype out of proportion? Me, I don't think so, no. But I've seen a couple of interviewers saying we don't really know. The media and the news media can sometimes exaggerate a few things. But let's have it right. He's knocking everybody out. He's beating everyone in good fashion. In a good style. So me personally, I don't think the media is wrong about blowing smoke up Moses' ass. I think he's fucking fabulous, and he's a breath of fresh air for UK's heavyweight boxing. I'm really happy that he's come along because, Tyson Fury, I love Tyson Fury, but sometimes he's not the style we want to watch, is he? We're all invested in Tyson Fury as a personality and as a person, watching him box and watching him fight. But let's have it right. We like the Mike Tyson aura, don't we? That aura of someone's getting knocked out. And I think Moses brings that. I think Moses Itauma brings that aura of someone's getting levered, someone's getting put to sleep, and as a boxing fan, that's what you kind of want to watch, especially when you're watching heavyweights. So I do think that Moses Itauma will wipe him out before the fourth round, but let's say it doesn't and he goes into the later rounds, I think he could be in for a tough fight because Dillian White is a tricky customer. He's a tricky fighter. I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight. I really am. But I'm going to go with Moses Itauma before round 4, if not round 4. God bless, guys.